China is contemplating the introduction of a national cyberspace ID. The government claims that the ID will be introduced to enhance data security and to protect the personal information of its citizens. However, this proposal has sparked apprehensions amongst legal experts who fear that it could lead to increased surveillance and social control. And according to a report, China's Ministry of Public Security and the Cyberspace Administration has released draft regulations suggesting that a cyberspace ID could actually help users verify their identities online without revealing some sensitive personal details to internet service providers. The promised system, which is voluntary, includes two types of digital IDs, one comprising a series of letters and numbers, and another is a digital authentication credential. And this initiative is designed to safeguard citizens' personal information and to reduce the over-collection and retention of data such as name and date of birth by internet platforms. And although analysts acknowledge that a unified network ID could streamline authentication during the online transactions and minimize the misuse of personal information, it could also intensify the monitoring of individuals' online activities by the government. They warn that this could also lead to a centralized system that is capable of tracking and analyzing an individual's online behavior, which can lead to significant social risks. The critics, including Lao Dongyan, a criminal law professor at China's Tsinghua University, have questioned the true aim of this proposal. She said, and I quote, "The true intention is to regulate people's behavior online." The claim of protecting personal information is merely a facade, at least not the primary goal. And analysts are also very skeptical about the voluntary nature of the cyberspace ID policy and believe that widespread adoption may eventually become mandatory despite initial claims of user choice by the government of China.
Ohio becomes the fifth state now to be able to use your cell phone as your driver's license. I'm News 5's Jeff Left-Coolidge at Cleveland Hopkins. Surprisingly, you won't be able to use it here. Within 5 hours after it launched Wednesday, more than 8,000 people put Ohio's new ID in their Apple Wallet.
It's limited to the places that have the reading devices. So you can use it at the TSA in Cincinnati and Columbus.
Lieutenant Governor John Husted says this is just the beginning. I spoke to him over Zoom about the new ID system. Husted says as more people put it in their online wallet, more businesses and services will be able to take it.
You can use it at state liquor stores. Soon you will be able to use it at casinos and businesses will be able to download an app to check your ID, phone to phone. It'd just be a scanning device.
Eventually, the ID will be available on Android devices as well, but you may never have to totally give up your plastic ID.
So remember, this didn't exist until today. And so nobody has a lot of these reading devices loaded onto their technology to be able to read your ID. So this will take time. Eventually, law enforcement will adopt it as an option for you. And when they do, you'll never have to hand over your phone. You'll just tap it, just like you do with any other credit card.
At the busy BMV on Edgecliff Terrace, Clevelanders sounded off on the pros and cons of having more of your information in the palm of your hand.
I think that's the most convenient thing. You don't have to carry all the time. I mean, people don't go out without phones, but they might go out without wallet.
I think it's a great idea. I mean, I think I like the idea just because I use my Apple Pay a lot. But sometimes it could be a bad idea. You know, you have some people that steals people identities.
If people can get into your phone, they can get your driver's license number, address, everything else. They already get your credit card number, and you might as well, government might as well go ahead and chip us. That's just another way for them to keep a track of us.
Lieutenant Governor John Husted told us it's supposed to be convenient.
Well, the good news is this is completely optional.
And while it's not here yet, Cleveland Hopkins will eventually be added to the list as more states get into the real ID business. At Cleveland Hopkins International Airport, I'm Jeff Left-Coolidge for News 5.
Of the risks in handing out data to companies like Optus and Medibank. But what if you never had to reveal your address ever again? New South Wales is leading the way with a one-stop shop, allowing us to prove and protect our identity once and for all.
It's personal, private, privileged and prized by hackers.
We've seen what happens in relation to Optus and Medibank.
Now, new ways for a new world to give the power back to the people.
What we're rolling out in New South Wales is world-leading technology.
A digital identity that means you'll never have to hand over your data again. It works like this. You'll use an app to scan your passport, licence, Medicare card. They're cross-checked with databases to ensure they're yours and then appear on your phone as verified ID. You then have control over what you share and with whom, revealing only part or all of a document when required, meaning you'll be able to prove a valid licence without showing your address.
All they need to know is that you are real and that you're authorised to drive.
Or confirm you have Medicare while keeping your number unknown.
Those numbers, as we've seen in the recent spate of attacks, will not be shared.
The personal data is kept only on the personal device, never held by the government or a private company.
When you decentralise and you put the information in the power of the individual, it's far safer.
The technology will be optional for users, but not for companies and businesses, with the government set to make it illegal not to recognise the ID.
Ultimately, we will need legislation to make sure that the companies play ball and that they accept this.
Amelia Brace.
Watch this if you struggle with DMV paperwork. California's DMV just made a game-changing move. Let's dive in. Imagine never having to wait in line at the DMV again. California just digitized 42 million car titles using blockchain technology. This isn't just a tech upgrade, it's a revolution. Thanks to blockchain, your car title is now a secure digital asset. Fraud? Forget about it. The transparent and unalterable record on the blockchain makes it nearly impossible for scammers to mess with your title. Partnering with Oxhead Alpha on the Avalanche blockchain, the DMV's new system lets 39 million Californians access their car titles via a mobile app. Convenience at your fingertips. Launching early next year, this app means fewer DMV visits and more time for you. Plus, it's the first of its kind in the US. California, leading the charge in digital innovation. So, are you ready for a smoother, safer DMV experience? Stay tuned, because the future of car titles is here.
So let's have a digital health certificate acknowledged by WHO if you have been vaccinated or tested properly, then you can move around. So for the next pandemic, instead of stopping the movement of the people 100%, which clogged the economy globally, you can still provide some movement of the people. Indonesia has achieved, G20 country has agreed to have this digital certificate using WHO standard, and we will submit into the next World Health Assembly in Geneva as the revision to international health regulation. So hopefully for the next pandemic, we can still see some movement of the people, some movement of the goods, and movement of the economy.
That our three organizations, Hyperledger Foundation, Finos, and Digital Dollar Project, we've really seen this need for open collaboration, open development in the central bank digital currency space and the research and projects that are happening. So for this reason, we're coming together to start an initiative, the Open Digital Currency Initiative, to promote open source collaboration and governance in the CBDC space. Our aim is to promote the open collaboration development of central bank digital currencies involving all kinds of stakeholders, not just central banks, but those who are helping central banks, and anyone else who's involved in this space, so that we can develop really publicly shared resources and avoid duplicating efforts. From our perspective, we really think that most CBDCs are going to be quite similar.
It's time for another Bullet Point Bulletin powered by Plato Data Intelligence. Web3 data intelligence, private, secure, trusted. For more information, visit platodata.ai. The Federal Reserve Bank of New York has completed a successful pilot of the use of central bank digital currencies for wholesale cross-border transactions. The experiment, also known as Project Cedar Phase 1, aims to explore the capabilities of blockchain technology in payment delivery and the application of central bank digital currencies in wholesale payments. Testing was conducted on separate blockchains to explore the capabilities of blockchain technology in delivering fast and safe payments for a lower settlement cost. The New York Innovation Center, the entity charged with the project, exchanged a U.S. digital dollar with experimental foreign currencies in a simulated environment powered by blockchain technology. The experiment showed a significant improvement in which the average clearing and settlement of transactions reduced from 2 days to under 15 seconds. Additionally, the framework could enable atomic settlements, an instant and simultaneous exchange of assets. Because of the dollar's advantage in international payments, the U.S. was previously uninterested in increasing central bank digital currencies. However, the country's perspective has shifted and is now researching the policies to develop the tools, technology, and potential that it offers. Thanks for watching Bullet Point Bulletins, powered by Plato Data Intelligence.